Make today iconic. What is up, guys? It's Upcome Sports, back with an Atlanta Hawks super realistic rebuild, part 1 of this series. Here are the objectives for the Hawks in this one, and we'll get right into the settings. These are the settings I'm going to be using. If you're new, just know that I do use trade override, and I will explain a little bit why. Well, 2K is not really the most realistic game in the world, and I will give my reasons as to why I make these trades, and I try to make it as fair for both teams, so it usually works out. That's my little spin on my rebuilds, so it's kind of a new concept, and hope you guys like it. But yeah, these are the settings, and the Atlanta Hawks are in a pretty bad position right now as long as wins and losses go, but they are 13-29 on the season. We are starting in start today mode, so they do have a couple good pieces, good young pieces. Trae Young, obviously, not shooting the most efficient, but John Collins has been a beast when he has played. He's been injured a little bit, but Kevin Huerter also 8.8 on the season, not too bad, shooting pretty good, better than Trae Young at least. But yeah, they've got some good pieces. And also, a new thing that I'm kind of doing for 2K19 is I'm going to be using storylines for the draft, at least for these super realistic rebuild series. Probably not for the realistic ones, but basically what this does, if you don't know, is it allows for draft busts and sleepers. So Zion Williamson could turn out to be a bad player, or someone in the second round could be a star. Another really cool feature I'm going to be using for these rebuilds is player mentorship. And if you guys don't know what this feature is, basically young players can be mentored by older players like Kevin Huerter and Vince Carter, and they teach them badges, which is pretty cool, a really good idea. And so John Collins, you see there, is going to be mentored by Dwayne Dedmon, so we'll see what happens. So this is actually going to be the rotation from here on out till the end of the season, and actually, we have a couple of injured guys, big pieces, Kent Bazemore, Taurean Prince, and a couple other guys, but they'll be worked back into the rotation when they get healthy. And system proficiency, the same. So here at the trade deadline, we're going to check out how we're doing as a team. And we are currently 15-38, so we only won 2 games from when I took over as GM. So that's pretty bad, but it's kind of good if we're trying to tank, which we are. So in real life, there have been a lot of Jeremy Lin rumors and a lot of teams targeting him. So we are going to trade him. He is on a 1-year deal, 14 mil. But Matthew Dellavedova somehow got on the Pelicans. And let's face it, he's not the greatest backup point guard. And they really need one. They've got Tim Frazier and Elfrid Payton. So we'll get a couple of seconds back. And I think that's a fair deal. So this will be the rotation from here on out. Taurean Prince and Kent Bazemore are back, so they will be the starters. And a lot of young guys are getting minutes, so hopefully we lose more games. And in this season, Giannis is going to win the MVP, Luka Doncic Rookie of the Year, and Clint Capella Most Improved, Mike Budenholzer for the Bucks Coach of the Year. And I doubt anyone on the Hawks made an All-NBA team. Maybe John Collins could have made it, but it's a bit of a stretch. Trae Young on the All-Rookie First Team. He picked it up, actually, scoring-wise, but his assist numbers did go down. And checking out the standings, we were one of the worst teams in the NBA. And we actually weren't that bad. The Cavs, Bulls, and Knicks were all worse than us. And it makes sense. The Knicks are really bad. Cavs and Bulls probably had some injuries. So we will have probably the 5th or 6th odds at the number 1 pick. So it won't be too bad. John Collins dropped off a little bit, but that's probably because his tendencies are a bit low. I'll try to fix those. It looks like we're having a Raptors-Thunder finals. So the Thunder actually able to take down the Warriors, but they lose to the Raptors here, Kawhi Leonard. So in the draft lottery, we actually have the 4th odds at the number 1 pick. And also we have the Mavericks pick. We do fall all the way to 6, so some bad luck right there. But we do have 2 first-round picks. And with the 6th overall pick, we're going to take Quentin Grimes. I know RJ Barrett was still there, but we scouted him, and he doesn't look good at all with these storylines on. So I'm not going to take a chance there. Quentin Grimes looks pretty solid. With the 10th overall pick in the draft, we're going to take Romeo Langford out of Indiana, a 6'6 shooting guard. And hopefully Grimes or Langford will turn into a superstar or even an all-star to pair alongside Trae Young. And we also have like 4 or 5 second-round picks. I don't know how the Hawks got so many, but we're going to take Nick Richards here. He's a traditional center, and he's pretty athletic, so we'll see if he can turn into a starter. 6'11 out of Kentucky. And also in the second round, we're going to take O'Shea Brissett out of Syracuse, a 6'8 power forward / small forward. And he looks like a good scorer, so we'll take a chance on him. We also got a lot of second round picks. So here is the roster after that offseason, and John Collins is our best player at an 85 overall. Trae Young is improving though, and I'm not too sure what we're going to do with Taurean Prince because we might draft a small forward in the next draft. So if we do, he might be gone if he asks for too much money in the offseason. But here's the rotation. We are going to start Langford, even though we drafted Grimes higher. I don't really know either of them too well, so we're going to give Langford a chance. He looks like a higher potential player, and we'll keep the same coach. And I don't know if this is good news or bad news for our team, but Alex Len is going to be out for a while. And the only really backup center we have is Nick Richards. So he's going to start now, and I guess Miles Plumlee's going to get some burn off the bench. Here at the All-Star break, it looks like John Collins actually made the All-Star team. He will be on Team LeBron, so that's pretty exciting right there, picking his numbers up. And here at the trade deadline, we're going to see how we're doing. You guys saw there a lot of L's on the calendar, but we are 16-37, so we're pretty bad, but we're on the right track for our tanking, and hopefully we can add another superstar to this team in the offseason or the draft. And it looks like Giannis is going to win back-to-back MVPs. Just a monster. Zion actually went to the Timberwolves, so I don't know how they got him, but John Collins was a beast. Most improved player of the season, and I would agree with that. But checking out the All-NBA teams, it looks like John Collins actually made the All-NBA third team. I did not expect that at all, but he definitely had the numbers to back it up. All rookie teams, looks like we did not have anyone. But checking out the standings, we were actually the worst team in the East, even though we won 3 more games. I don't know how that makes sense, but maybe every other team improved, so I guess that explains it. But Trae Young averaging about 0.9 points more. Not too much of a jump from Trae, so that's a bit concerning. But Romeo Langford, 10 points per game, I will take it. And Quentin Grimes, 7, not bad off the bench. So we will have a Warriors-Raptors finals this time in Season 2, which is a bit odd. Usually doesn't happen, only in Season 1, and the Raptors win it all. In the draft lottery, we actually have the number 2 odds at the number 1 pick, and we actually fall to 4 against some bad luck, but we also have another first-round pick, this time from the Cavs. With the 4th overall pick in the draft, we're going to take Tracy Lynch out of Texas Tech. 6'9 small forward. Looks like a really good defender, so we definitely need that if we're going to have Trae Young and Romeo Langford as our backcourt. And with the 13th pick in the draft, we're going to take Jesse Berry out of Texas Christian, a 7-foot center. Looks like a traditional center. He's going to get rebounds and score inside. Doesn't really shoot the 3 ball. And with our second round pick, we're going to take Clifton Page out of Missouri. He's a bit on the short side, but he looks like a really good playmaker, so maybe we can develop him after a couple seasons in the G League. Here in the offseason, Taurean Prince is actually getting a lot of deals, and they're pretty big for about $16-17 million a season. So checking out his stats, he's nothing special. 14 points per game, 1.2 steals. Pretty good defender, but we're not going to bring him back. And this is our roster going into the 3rd season. And John Collins is improving. Trae Young almost catching up to him as the best player. But we definitely got a lot of young players, a lot of second-round picks that we used. And we're looking pretty young, so I don't think we're going to even compete at all. So we probably will have another top 5 pick. But that's good. We need a center or a Yeah, just a center. So we'll probably draft a center, and we'll send Clifton Page to the G League, and also no one else. And we did hire a new coach. And at the All-Star break, John Collins again making the All-Star team. No Trae Young, but I did check and he was having a pretty solid season. At the trade deadline here, we're going to check out how we're doing. We're on a pretty good win streak, actually. And we are 17-36, so we're still pretty bad. As I said, we'll probably have another top 5 pick, but that definitely benefits us. But we'll check out how we're doing. And here, checking in on the season. We're not going to make the playoffs, so I do want to get some gameplay in here against the Wizards. And we'll probably play the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, just to get some burn, try to test out Trae Young and Romeo Langford, and also John Collins. So we're actually blowing them out here in the fourth. So here we're going to run a pick and roll, and John Collins to a wide open Langford for the green three-pointer. So pretty good ball movement right there from Trae to John Collins and then to the corner. But John Wall against Trae Young is a bit of a mismatch. And Trae not able to get the stop. Trae Young, oh, I almost pulled it, but no, let's get a screen, and we're pulling that. And that's cash from Trae Young from deep. He's definitely got a quick release, so that's pretty solid right there. Oh, John Wall, though, with the moves, and Trae. Pretty good defense right there from Trae Young. So let's run it here, get it to Lynch with an easy lay-in. And Trae Young again picking. Oh, why did he cut? He was wide open in the corner and misses. John Collins the board, and a hard shot, but it goes in. Trae Young again pick and roll. Another three, and that's cash. Trae Young 2 threes already in the fourth. So he's definitely a good three-point shooter. Just not as efficient as some guys. Not as efficient as Steph Curry. But let's see if we can play some D here. Blows right past us, but we're still there. Tough shot, and he misses. Good board from John Collins. Get it to Langford. And okay, let's get it back out to Trae Young. And we'll see what we can do. Pick and roll. Oh, John Collins has an open lane for the dunk and one. So I don't know how we're absolutely dismantling this Wizards team with John Wall still here. But, oh, nice speed inside from Trae, and he's hot now. Both of our players, both of our stars are hot. Trae Young and John Collins. Oh, nice shot there, but he missed it. Trae Young. Let's see what we're going to do here. I don't think that's a shooting badge, so that's why I'm not pulling up from deep. But another nice feed inside. Playmaking badge for Trae Young. But can he play some defense? Oh, almost got a steal right there. He actually averages a bit of steals for his size. So, good board right there from Collins. And, oh, we're going to pull that. And hopefully that's a 3. That's a 2. Checking out the stats here. Otto Porter dropped 20. John Wall 11 on 13 shots. Did not shoot good at all. Trae Young was just clamping him up. But John Collins with a double-double, 29. Also 2 steals and 3 blocks. Just an absolute monster. Trae Young with 25 points, 11 assists on pretty good shooting. Alex Len also a double-double. Romeo Langford, not really efficient. In this season, Kawhi Leonard is going to win MVP. Cole Anthony, Rookie of the Year. Michael Porter Jr., Most Improved. And Nick Nurse, Coach of the Year. So John Collins upgrading and making the All-NBA second team. Definitely deserving. But no defensive teams for anyone. All rookie teams. Tracy Lynch made it. 8 points, 4 boards, and 2 assists. But O'Shea Brissett also on the all-rookie second team. Didn't really get too many minutes, but he might deserve some now. And we were the worst team in the Eastern Conference, probably the NBA. About the same record that we've had the past 2 years. But the Heat, for some reason, fell off the map completely. The Mavericks were the worst team in the West. Kind of surprising. But Trae Young averaging close to 24 points a game and 6 assists. Pretty good shooting. He's definitely being more efficient. Romeo Langford, 15 points per game. I will take that as the third option. But Quentin Grimes not really panning out too much. So we'll see what happens with him. Taking out the team stats, on offense, we are the number 20 offense in the league. So we definitely got to improve that. On defense, we're probably worse on defense. Yeah, the 6th worst defense. And it looks like the Warriors and the Celtics are going to compete in the finals. So we'll see who takes it all. And it looks like the Warriors take a 4-1 series. Will the Atlanta Hawks ever be relevant? And can Trae Young lead a team to the playoffs? Watch part 2 to find out. But thank you guys for watching. And make sure to subscribe for some more videos on the road to 300 subscribers.